Part 121. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 1206. Woo, many people from other tribes have come to our tribe today. Shaylin shook her hair. She had just come back from outside. Apart from training, she was discussing things with other people. After all, the cat-eared girl was the most powerful witch around Subai, and she was responsible for many trivial matters. Handled. Shalan is also very prestigious in the tribe. Many people will say hello when they see him. How many tribes are here this time? Subai asked. It has been about 10 days since the big ice and snow passed. This time is also about the time when other tribes came. After a rough calculation, there are about a dozen tribes, large and small. Shalan said immediately. She went to the registration area at the door and took a look. It was clear at a glance how many people were coming and which tribe they were from. Have the tribes we discussed cooperation with last year come? Subai continued to ask. Everyone has arrived, and now they have moved into Enyi building. After taking a rest, they can come to see the witch tomorrow. Shaiyan's crisp voice sounded. Last year, the Red Horse tribe, Black Ox tribe, etc. came to the Yanlong tribe, and this time they all came back with goods. Didn't they agree to long-term cooperation with our tribe last time? Why did you come to me this time? Subai asked, holding up a cup of tea. As early as last year, when Kinjian sent these tribesmen back, he had already given them time to discuss. So when Kinjian returned, he had already received their replies. These days the unified reply from each tribe was that they were willing to cooperate with the Yanlong tribe. This time they came to bring the tribe's special products for trading, but Subai didn't know why they came to see him this time. He said he wanted to talk to Wu about other things, but they didn't say anything even when I asked them. Shalan shrugged her shoulders. As the witch around Subai, the cat-eared girl is qualified to control some things. For example, when meeting a witch, she is qualified to know what is going on, and then act accordingly. Arrangement. But this time, the tribe said that the matter was very important, and it was difficult for Shalan to say anything if he saw the shaman from the Yanlong tribe face to face. There is a high probability that I can guess something. It is nothing more than joining our tribe or something like that. Subai calmly took a sip of tea. Ever since the Yanlong tribe spread the news, many small tribes have been ready to move. They all want to join the Yanlong tribe to gain protection, and their own tribes also want to develop well. Especially with the Sea Fish tribe, Goat tribe, and Argali tribe in front, those tribes are even more exciting. Do they really want to join our tribe? Aren't there many tribes that are big tribes? Shaiyan's blue eyes widened. The cat-eared girl felt that it would take time for the news to spread, and it had only been more than half a month. While your own tribe has been stagnating, what do you think you would do if there was an opportunity for their tribe to develop greatly? Subai asked back. Sometimes you don't just have to look at things in front of you, but you have to look at things in the long run. I will definitely seize that opportunity tightly. I know what Wu means. Although those tribes seem to be big tribes now, once some tribes develop, nothing will happen to them. Shalan's mind turned quickly and continued. In the face of the development of the entire tribe, the size of the tribe actually doesn't mean much. This is why those people want to join our tribe. Yes, the Yanlong tribe's concrete houses and concrete avenues alone can attract a lot of people, not to mention our food and some specialties, Subai said calmly. Understood. Shalan nodded heavily. By the way, how is the road paving in the forest going? Subai asked. Some time ago, he had already asked people to start paving the way. The biggest road is directly to the Spotted Deer tribe. There is no other reason, because the Yanlong tribe cooperated with the Spotted Deer tribe at the beginning. Since the Yanlong tribe is about to start building the first avenue, and its destination is the Spotted Deer tribe with whom they have established a good relationship before. It is already underway steadily, and other tribes are joining in to help. It has already been laid out quite far. Shalan danced excitedly. Approximately how far did it go? I remember I taught you about measurement units before, right? Sudbai raised his eyebrows slightly. He had already told the people in the tribe the measurement units such as millimeters, centimeters, and meters, and all of them, men, women, old and young, had learned from them. Shalan, as the witch beside him, naturally learned earlier. I have acquired knowledge in this area. It's just that people in primitive tribes are still not used to it, and they didn't use it widely at the beginning. It was probably laid over several kilometers. Shalan said after turning his thoughts. Since the end of the great ice and snow, the Yanlong tribe has already begun to pave the road. During this period, many other tribes also joined. Of course, the important cement secrets have not been leaked. The most I can do is help lay cement on the road, prepare some stones, etc. Has it been laid so far in just over half a month? Sudbai asked in surprise. He had been staying in Yong'an building and had not gone to see the project. Hearing such data is still very surprising. Yes, those workers are very motivated. When they heard that they would be assigned a house after all the construction periods were completed, they were so happy. Shalan smiled and nodded. Yes, as long as the workers involved in paving the road complete all the construction periods, they will be assigned a house in the Yanlong tribe. This is the benefit that Sudbai promised to everyone at the beginning. Paving the road is not for a simple matter, the entire construction period may last for several years. Because there is not only one avenue to be paved, but several tribes starting from the Yanlong tribe to lay the roads. This is a huge project. And it is not too difficult to agree to give them a house, because the Yanlong tribe is also building houses now. After the houses are built, there will be a lot of vacant houses. Likewise, those who are building houses, there is also this benefit. Sudbai has made it very clear at the beginning that the house for them to live in is only for temporary residence. In the later stage, they will need to pay or trade with other things, and then the benefits promised at this time are the best. Opportunity. That's good, Sudbai nodded with satisfaction. He began to calculate the time in his mind, thinking about when he would be able to complete everything. Please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 1207. Since the Yanlong tribe decided to expand the tribe, it can be said that the entire tribe has begun to take action. Those who are physically strong are responsible for helping to cut down the trees, and some who are not so strong are responsible for working together to carry the cut trees to a place. Then with the help of the soldiers, big pits were dug out, and the scene looked very lively. The avenue leading out of the Yanlong tribe's gate has been repaired, so what needs to be done now is to start building houses on both sides of the avenue. Sudbai came to the forest from Yong'an building under the escort of Yeju, wanting to see how the project was going. Woo, all the foundations should be laid before the rainy season arrives. Shalan said while looking at the unobstructed forest. In just 1 month, starting from the Yanlong tribe, the forest with the size of 50 football fields has been turned into flat ground. On average, 2 or 3 projects need to be completed in a day. For a forest the size of a football field, it can be said that the process is really fast. But also, how can it not be faster if the entire tribe is mobilized? Plus there are people from other tribes helping. Cut down the trees and drag them aside, then start digging the foundation in one go. The scene of thousands of people going out to work together is very lively, and the progress of the work is also very fast. It should be about the same, and then we will start building houses after the rainy season. Hopefully, we will be able to complete a new urban area before the big snow and ice ends. Sudbai nodded with satisfaction. It can be said that he has transferred all the manpower to the forest for development. If there is no way to develop the forest with so many labor forces, then his arrangement is wrong. Woo, if this is the case, Our tribe should be said to be the largest tribe. Shalan couldn't help but sigh. Originally, the Yanlong tribe was like a medium-sized tribe, but the area that was suddenly expanded was as big as 4 or 5 Yanlong tribes. A normal large tribe is only 3 Yanlong tribes combined. So you can imagine how big the area is. Pretty much, only this kind of area can be considered a city, right? Subai smiled faintly. He felt that such an area was a bit small. In modern times, such an area would be considered a small county at most. But it all needs to be done step by step. It is impossible to eat it all in one bite. A big fat man, Subai also knew that he had to start first before he could slowly plan for the rest. Wu, I saw that there are many areas that have been set aside. Will those be used to build cement roads? Yanhua asked, blinking her red eyes. Yes, these streets will have to be planned by then. Neatness and orderliness are the main features of the city, and they will be easy to manage. Subai looked at the surrounding environment as he walked, and continued, every house will have a number, and every house will also have a house number. In the future, I will start a food delivery business. He feels that the city must be neatly planned, with houses well proportioned and every street leading to the avenue, so that it looks comfortable. And after having the house number, some development can be done in the future. Other industries will be more convenient. For example, in the express delivery or takeout industry, once you have the house number, you can have it delivered directly to your door. What is the takeaway industry? Yanhua asked curiously. You will know when the time comes. If you don't understand this aspect now, it will be more complicated for me to explain. Subai doesn't plan to say it so soon. Moreover, this matter will take a long time. It is impossible to achieve it in a short time. Because to meet the conditions of takeout, there must be communication means. Otherwise, how can I place an order for the rider to go? What about delivering food? The same goes for express delivery. If you don't buy things on a platform, how can others deliver them to your door? Good. Although Yanhua was very curious, she still nodded obediently. By the way, how is the development of steam vehicles going? It's been more than a year or two now, right? Subai asked. After he knew that he had traveled through time, I started to develop steam engines. What he wanted most was to present steam vehicles in the primitive era. Only in this way would it be easy to go to the next tribe. Convenient. He will not consider the steam train for the time being. It is a bit difficult to create a train with the resources of the primitive era. I went to the steam workshop and asked, and they said that they could check the acceptance results after a while. Shalan said immediately. She was also very concerned about this matter. Ever since she knew about the plan for a steam car, she had been looking forward to the day when it would be completed. After all, no one can resist a tin box that can walk on its own, especially for people in primitive times. This is simply a very magical thing, and its impact must be greater than that of a horse-drawn carriage. Well, as long as this is developed, the development of our tribe will really make a qualitative leap, Subai said with satisfaction. He couldn't wait to see the steam car, and also wanted to take a steam car to see other tribes. Although he could ride a flying beast or a fast-running beast. But it's not as friendly as modern things. Woo, I don't know any news about Madara. The big ice and snow has been over for more than a month. I'm afraid the Dark Scorpion tribe will take action soon. Yanhua said worriedly. Nyojiao Niang saw that the tribe was developing better and better, and she became more and more worried about the Dark Scorpion tribe. After all, if this matter is not solved for a day, it will be a problem. This tribe can be said to be like this. It is a cancer on the continent. It is also the biggest obstacle to the development of the Yanlong tribe. It must be eliminated no matter what. That's almost it. If nothing goes wrong, the news will come back in the next 2 days, and then our tribe can start making preparations, Subai said calmly. In fact, as this day came, he felt calmer and calmer. He might have been a little nervous before, but now this feeling has completely disappeared. Wu, our tribe will definitely win, right? Yu Ying suddenly asked in a low voice. She had not spoken just now, just listening to the few of them chatting quietly. But suddenly they talked about the dark scorpion tribe, and the fox-eared lady's worry was instantly raised. Coming up. Don't worry, there will never be any problems with me in our tribe. Subai rubbed the other person's head. He looked into the distance with the corners of his mouth raised slightly, feeling that this matter should come to an end. Please support and customize. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 1208. Night falls, inside the main wooden house of the Dark Scorpion tribe. Wu Chenshao and a group of totem warriors were gathering together, and they were discussing a major matter. That was the matter of preparing to attack the Yanlong tribe. After a long period of intelligence collection, they now have a lot of information about Subai. Of course, that information is not painful to the Yanlong tribe, and it is also a well-known information. Wu, all the soldiers are ready, and we can set off at any time as long as Wu tells us, Fang Ya said seriously. What he has been busy with these days is training totem warriors and gathering warriors. Those warriors who went out to hunt and do other things have been recalled because they plan to do something big. That is to invade the Yanlong tribe and then change the base area to another place. This is what they did a few years ago. The current place was obtained by invading other tribes at that time. How many soldiers gathered this time? Wu Chenshao asked. He also struggled with the decision for a long time, but in the end he still had to rely on the information. The information Wu Chenshao knew was that the Yanlong tribe is now a medium-sized tribe, focusing on trading in the big market. There are not many warriors in the tribe. The reason why so many people are attracted is because the goods are good, but in fact the combat power is not strong. There are a total of 900 totem warriors, of which junior totem warriors account for 2/3, the rest are all intermediate totem warriors, and there are 6 highland totem warriors. Fang Ya's expression was very serious, and he stood up straight and continued, there are 1,200 reserve warriors, all of whom are equipped with weapons, and everyone has a strong fighting spirit. He was promoted to a senior totem warrior some time ago. Originally, there were only 3 senior totem warriors in the Dark Scorpion tribe. However, due to the awakening ceremony some time ago, the number of awakened senior totem warriors also increased. And he is one of them. One person, and the rest are from some cadres of the Dark Scorpion tribe. Originally, the number of totem warriors of the Dark Scorpion tribe was only 800. This year's awakening ceremony saw an additional 100 people, which is a very considerable number. According to the information I collected, the maximum number of totem warriors in the Yanlong tribe is only 300. This is the limit of their combat power, and there is no way they can be our opponents, Li Ya said with a flattering look. He also summoned many people during the Great Ice and Snow period to collect information about the Yanlong tribe in order to wait for today's meeting. Many of Li Ya's men died at the hands of the Yanlong tribe. So he is very angry with that tribe now. According to the intelligence collected, he can't help but smile from ear to ear, but at the same time, he is also very confused in his heart. Why is such a tribe with average combat power not conquered by other tribes? What about the invasion? Let the soldiers have a good rest. We will set off in 3 days, and let the tribesmen set off together. We will change places before the rainy season this year, Wu Chenshao ordered in a deep voice. He also felt that he was tired of living in this place now. He originally sent so many people to solve the Yanlong tribe, so as not to affect his rule of other tribes. Who would have known that this tribe has always been very tenacious, and almost none of the people sent out have ever returned, and the Black Snake tribe, which he was very proud of before, was also lost to the Yanlong tribe. Wu Chenxiao also had to pay attention to this tribe. Come, I heard that the location there is very good, so I want to change places directly. Wu, then everything here must be given up, right? Fang asked. He still has feelings for this place. After all, this place was relatively dilapidated when it was first robbed. Although the geographical location is relatively high and will not be flooded when it rains, the number of wooden houses is still relatively small. The reason why people in the tribe can live in wooden houses now is because they built them with their own hands. Of course, they were all built by the slaves, but this does not prevent him from feeling sad. If you don't want them all, what big difference can you make by lingering on these things? Our new one is more specifically the Yanlong tribe. Haven't you heard that the houses there are all stone houses? It's much more comfortable to live here. Wu Chenxiao's tone was very bad. He picked up a glass of wine and started to drink heavily. This was his last bottle of wine. They had grabbed these wines from other tribes. Anyway, as long as they received the information, whoever has cooperated with the Yanlong tribe or has been there to exchange things, they will grab the things. Yes, what the witch taught me was right. I will ask people to start packing tomorrow and only bring some necessary things. Fang Fang nodded heavily. He thought not to bring too many things, lest it be a burden to go out. For food and other things, he could just grab other tribes on the road. The Dark Scorpion tribe has always been like this. Before, they attacked other tribes. The tribe is also like this. They don't prepare too many things in advance. They just grab some food from the tribe along the way. Everyone has to follow us, especially those old, young, women and children. They all have to follow us. Wu Chenxiao added. He had other plans in mind. No one knew what dangers he would encounter along the way. It would be okay if he encountered tribes or something, but the Dark Scorpion tribe was never afraid of those tribes. People. But it's hard to say when you encounter some more dangerous beasts. The reason why you bring those old, young, women and children is because they are living targets. They can't run fast and have no ability to resist, so they can only become food for others. In this way, the warriors of the Dark Scorpion tribe can recharge their batteries, and the number of warriors will not be reduced. This is Wu Chenxiao's inner calculation. I understand what the witch means. This time the whole tribe will go together, so please don't worry. Fang Fang showed a sinister smile. He thought this method was really wonderful, because it is most important to conserve strength before fighting the Yanlong tribe. But we can't fold the warriors just because they encounter some ferocious beasts on the road. And those old people and children are the best bait. Okay, let's all go down. Our good days are yet to come. We have to wait until we win the Flame Dragon tribe to celebrate. Wu Chenxiao showed a rare smile. His pitch-black teeth made people shudder, especially his gloomy expression. Yes, Witch Fang Ya nodded and turned around to leave. Sharp Fang also turned around and left. He also asked the intelligence personnel to explore the road ahead in order to prepare for the trip 3 days later. Every move of the Dark Scorpion tribe was monitored by Madara not far away. Yes, saw it. He frowned slightly and began to take out the storage shell to record all the information. Please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 1209. Goo 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 goo. Gooja gooji. As night falls, the sounds of various beasts in the forest continue to sound, but this does not destroy the original tranquility of the night. After these opposite voices sounded, everyone knew that night had truly arrived. After the luminous bugs illuminated the Yongan building, the entire space became as bright as daytime. Subai was sitting at the table looking at the documents. The documents were all about the next development of the Yanlong tribe. He met people from other tribes, and all those people expressed their desire to join the Yanlong tribe. Subai did not directly agree to those people, but directly ignored those people. He would definitely want to give them hope so quickly. Woo, I suddenly remembered what a few of them said today, and I felt that their requests seemed a bit too much, Shaylin said. The cat-eared girl was listening the whole process today. She wanted to laugh a little when she heard what those people said. But Shaylin held it back out of politeness, but she felt special for those tribes in her heart. Disdainful. Those tribes said they could join the Yanlong tribe when they first came up, but they had several requirements. These requirements sounded quite excessive, such as not interfering with their freedom to establish diplomatic relations with other tribes. And they also had to provide a lot of food and material support all year round. In addition, if they want to buy the Yanlong tribe's goods, they must be very cheap. In short, there are quite a lot of requirements like this, and they all sound very good. Unreasonable. Let them be, let them stay in the tribe. After a while, they will know how excessive those demands are, Sudbai said calmly. When he first heard it, he only thought it was ridiculous and didn't feel angry, because there will be such people in any era. It's just that they want and want more, and they don't even say those unreasonable demands. The kind that feels guilty. Didn't the witch say that we should quickly expand the scope of our tribe? But will they know that we are anxious? Shalan asked curiously. After all, Sudbai had said before that he would turn the Yanlong tribe into a city this year. The most important thing is to expand the area of the tribe. The first step is to recruit other tribes, thus becoming part of the Yanlong tribe. That's what I said, but I have changed my mind. What I want is to become a kingdom, and then it doesn't matter whether those tribes join us or not, they can become a city. Sudbai blinked his deep eyes. He felt that just setting up a city or something was simply too weak, and it would be difficult to control the next development. The best thing would be to directly set up a kingdom, and then each tribe would become a city. Just as long as they can achieve the freedom they want, that is, they can develop on their own, but the Yanlong tribe will also help. Woo, if this happens, wouldn't that mean their wish is fulfilled? Shalan has heard of the kingdom before. She also knows that if a kingdom is established, it will have many benefits for other tribes. Don't worry, there will be many relevant policies to be released by then. If they agree, we will talk about it, Sudbai said calmly. Of course he can't let other tribes get so many benefits. There must be conditions. This will be negotiated at that time. It will be a very important matter. He must be careful. Just think and plan. That's right, we can negotiate terms when the time comes. Anyway, as long as they join us, there will definitely be no harm done to them. Shalan nodded thoughtfully. The cat-eared lady knew that the development of the original tribe was not limited to this, and there would definitely be better development in the future. It should be said that as long as you join the Yanlong tribe, you will become a shareholder. It's not a loss, and it's still very profitable. But I will definitely not tell you all the benefits, and I will let them choose by themselves when the time comes. Sudbai shook the teacup and continued, we have no shortage of people at all, and we don't need to cater to them. He doesn't want those people to think that the Yanlong tribe is so good that they don't have any problems before they decide to join. That would be very unfair to those who have sworn to follow the Yanlong tribe from the very beginning, so he plans not to say that. The advantage is that it can also be used as a filter. The most important thing is to see how those guys choose, Woo, and then we decide what to do, right? Shalan asked. Well, not everything is good to let them know, and if they don't choose now, they will regret it later. Sudbai smiled faintly. He felt that it is not difficult to establish a kingdom now. The difficulty is only in the management. Sudbai does not want those tribes that are like grass on the wall. What he wants must be loyal to the Yanlong tribe. That kind of thing. So he doesn't want to put all the benefits in plain sight. There must be people who are unwilling to join, so that in the future those people will regret their current choices. Does Wu have a favorite tribe now? Which tribe do you want to join us? Shalan asked curiously. In fact, the number of tribes we saw today was quite large. In total, there were 10 tribes. The specifications of these tribes ranged from large to small to medium-sized tribes, and their strengths also varied. Not even. Some small tribes definitely don't need to think too much. They are directly willing to join the tribe. Moreover, these small tribes will not have any conditions. Anyway, they only ask for one thing, and that is to hope that the Yanlong tribe, it would be great if you could protect them. Even if your own tribe surrenders to the Yanlong tribe, there is no problem. Most likely, they have lived a fearful life for too long, and now they urgently need stability. The same goes for medium-sized tribes. Those who are easier to talk to probably want human rights and freedom, that is, they don't want to be restricted too much. These tribes are also easier to negotiate, and there is a high probability that they will join the Yanlong tribe in the future. The more difficult ones are the large tribes. Large tribes are very proud and complacent, thinking that the size of their tribe is already very large. So they even directly negotiate conditions with the Yanlong tribe, and what they want is not the kind of absolute surrender. That is, they want 50-50 fair treatment. The proud and complacent attitude is immediately apparent. You will know when the time comes. They will definitely continue to look for us. Let's see what their faces are like next time. Sudbai smiled faintly. He felt that now is not the time. He would have to wait for a few more days to see what those people really think. Yes, Shalan nodded. Please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 1210. Tap tap tap. Shalan ran towards Yong'an building from the gate of the tribe, her face looking very serious. She ran very fast, and the other members of the tribe did not block the way. They all gave up their positions very consciously. The cat-eared girl quickly arrived at Yong'an building, holding something in her hand, and ran up to the second floor. Hoo. Take a break and wait until you have calmed down to breathe before we talk about anything else. Sudbai handed the other party a glass of water. She rarely saw the cat-eared girl in such a hurry, and she probably knew what was going on. Gilo. Shalan calmed down her breathing for a while, drank a whole glass of water in one breath, and handed over the thing in her hand. She wiped the water stains from the corner of her mouth and said, This is the news from the Dark Scorpion tribe. Madara asked the messenger bird to bring it back. The cat-eared girl did not listen to the news inside the sound shell, but got after knowing that this news came from the Dark Scorpion tribe, he ran back without any delay. I gave Madara yes voice, and it seems that the tribe has already taken action. Sudbai frowned slightly. The shell that stores the sound is given by the system when you sign in. It is a reward for an intermediate aid package. The system only gives 2 in total. The appearance is similar to the shell, but if you press the shell, the part at the spiral can store the surrounding sounds. It is a bit similar to the recording function. Sudbai has not used it since he received it. Madara happened to be going to the Dark Scorpion tribe some time ago and asked him to take him there. Sudbai asked the other party to place a sound storage shell near the Dark Scorpion tribe, so that their conversations can be collected. Because these 2 shells have a common function, that is, if placed far away, place, and the other one can be used as a microphone, a bit similar to a telephone. As long as Madara holds one in his hand, he can continuously receive messages from the other shell. It is exactly the same as a telephone. Sudbai was still thinking at the time, even if the tribe didn't have a phone, it would be good if there were a few more sound storage shells, which could completely replace the use of the phone. Madara said that as long as there is news, they must be ready to take action, but they don't know what their specific plan is. Shalan said with a frown. Madara felt at the time that the shell that stored the sound was very rare. It would be a waste of time to send back the news at the first sign of any disturbance. What if the news was sent back the next day? If the Dark Scorpion tribe makes a big move, wouldn't it be very difficult for him to deal with it? So he directly agreed at that time that the news would not be sent back until they made a big move. Let's listen to it. After Subai finished speaking, he directly pressed the spiral button of the shell. Wu, the Dark Scorpion tribe plans to move out in 3 days, which is equivalent to a big relocation of a tribe, and then plans to set the landing point in our tribe. The total number of totem warriors of the Dark Scorpion tribe is. Chushungbai Lamadara told all the information, including the strength of the entire Dark Scorpion tribe. As well as the specific trends and combat plans of their tribe, it can be said that everything is detailed. Will we start setting off in 3 days? It only takes about a day for the messenger bird to fly back, which means that they will all be out starting tomorrow. Subai frowned slightly. He frowned not because he was worried, but mainly because he was thinking about how to deal with it. Wu, once we know the number of people in their tribe and their departure time, we can make corresponding countermeasures. Do we plan to ambush them on the road, or wait until they arrive and then fight back? Shalan asked. Wu, is there news from the Dark Scorpion tribe? Yanhua came back from outside panting. She also heard about the news about the cat-eared girl, so she hurried over with the training format for the time being. Well, you will know after listening to it. Subai handed Chu Shenbei over and continued. This needs to be discussed with the chief. Wu can rest assured that his father is also on his way, and I believe he will arrive soon. Yanhua said immediately. As soon as Niojiao Niang finished speaking, Yan Jiao ran in from outside, panting heavily at the moment. Behind the chief were Shahong, Qinjian and other cotters, all of whom knew about the secret. There is news from the Scorpion tribe. The chief has arrived just in time for you two to listen to the information in the sound shell together. We will start studying the battle plan today, Subai said very seriously. He may have thought it was nothing before, but when the news came back, it was time to really face the big problem. Yes. Yan Jiao nodded heavily. He followed Niojiao Niang beside him and began to listen to the message. The two of them frowned tightly during the whole process. Most likely, this incident was really serious, so the two of them I started getting nervous before I even started listening. It's tonight. Do you have any opinions to express? Subai looked at everyone and continued. What Alan just said is very good. We have two choices. One is to ambush them directly on the road, and the other is to wait until they get close to us and then fight back. Originally, there were only two combat plans, either a sneak attack or a head-on confrontation with the opponent. I think based on the strength of our tribe, we can directly confront them. Yan Jiao expressed his opinion. The chief felt that if his own strength was poor, he would go for the ambush route, but now the Yanlong tribe is very strong, and he feels confident that he can defeat the opponent. My father and I have different opinions. Although it is true that we can defeat them based on our tribe's current strength and weapon resources, the important thing is the issue of casualties. Yanhua shook his head and continued. If there is a head-on confrontation, the number of casualties will definitely rise sharply. I think we should try to minimize the number of casualties, so ambushing them is the best choice. Niojiao Niang knows how difficult it is to train a warrior, and the Yanlong tribe is now in a stable stage of development. Although it is true that weapons can crush other tribes, it is still necessary to avoid unnecessary sacrifices. I also agree with Ahua's opinion. If we ambush, we can end the war quickly. If there is a head-on confrontation, the war may last for a long time. This may not be a beneficial place for us. Shalan said immediately. Does anyone else have any other opinions? Subai looked at Shahong and others. He wanted to hear everyone's opinions. Although he had already made a decision in his heart, he also had to respect everyone. Please support and customize. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 1211. Considering all the circumstances, I think an ambush halfway is a more ideal combat plan. Shahang's tone was particularly serious. If she had been in the past, she would have felt that head-on confrontation was a war between tribes. But since the Yanlong tribe has been developing better and better, her state of mind has also begun to change. We are all living beings. It is naturally better to avoid small-scale casualties. Our tribe now has so many weapons, I think we should confront them head-on. Ken Shi has been eager to give it a try. He has long been very dissatisfied with those guys. He just said that he has never had a chance to confront them head-on. Now that he finally has this opportunity, he definitely wants to lead the soldiers to take revenge. Each of you has a right idea, but I think about it from everyone's perspective. Everyone has family and friends. If there is a head-on confrontation with the Dark Scorpion tribe, the number of casualties will definitely rise sharply. Subai suddenly stood up. The tribe finally had a new life, but they didn't have the chance to see it. Do you want this? He can understand the bloody nature of tribal people very well. People from primitive tribes are all in head-on confrontation. Who is stronger and who is weaker has his own opinion. Sometimes even when you go out hunting, other tribes want to take your prey. There is a reason. If that tribe is very strong, they can grab it directly from you, but some tribes don't do this, and they will ask for a duel with you. This is a war between hunting bosses, and the losing side we have to let the prey out. There are many things like this, so everyone's thoughts are all about head-on confrontation. They feel very shameful about ambush halfway, and people in primitive times are even less willing to do this. None of the chiefs and others spoke, and everyone's expressions were very serious. They very much agreed with what Subai said, so they had nothing to refute at this moment. I feel that it is not necessary to abide by the rigid set of rules to be right. Sometimes the human aspect is more important. That is, the safety of the soldiers' lives and the feelings of their families are all crucial. The totem warriors of the past would go hunting with them. If they died accidentally during the hunt, they would bring the body back if they could. If not, there was nothing they could do. When I come back and face the family members of the deceased, I just say that your family members are great soldiers, and then that's it. Although the people in the tribe are indeed very united, sometimes they lack a bit of human touch. If this is the case, then we decided to use the battle plan of ambush halfway. Subai said word by word. In fact, he could have decided on this battle plan directly. The reason why I asked everyone is to let everyone understand this. Sometimes human touch is really better than the so-called head-on confrontation. Everything is subject to the witch's arrangement. I wonder when we will set off, Yan Jiao asked. He was instantly instigated. He felt that this was very reasonable. At the same time, he was also very much looking forward to the day when the Dark Scorpion tribe was wiped out. If nothing else happens, they will reach our tribe in more than half a month. In fact, we still have enough time to deal with it, Subai said lightly. Although this matter is approaching, there is still plenty of time for the Yanlong tribe. It would have taken about 10 days for the Dark Scorpion tribe to reach the Yanlong tribe, and now it has added the tribe has to relocate, so the time will naturally be delayed longer. The Yanlong tribe has enough time to make arrangements. This is the importance of advanced intelligence. If the Yanlong tribe does not collect intelligence in time, it will wait until the dark. When the Scorpion tribe was only a few days away from them, it was too late to counterattack at that time. And the Dark Scorpion tribe suffered a loss in terms of intelligence collection. They may not know until their death that the other party collected intelligence so quickly. I didn't know that every move I made was in the hands of others. Woo, I think we can dig traps on the road they must pass, and then lay some explosives. Our people will shoot headshots with manual rifles not far away, which will definitely hit them hard. Yan Jiao revealed his inner plan. He felt that it was impossible to defeat the Dark Scorpion tribe in one go by ambushing them halfway, but it would be easier to wait until they panicked before harvesting their heads. Your idea is probably similar to mine, but there is no need to dig traps or anything like that. This is a waste of time. We can just lay out the explosive packs. Subai rubbed his chin with his index finger and continued thinking there will be a lot of explosive packets by then, and they will definitely affect our soldiers, so we can't get too close. The plan of sniping with a manual rifle can only be abandoned. The Dark Scorpion tribe will definitely be a large group of people in action, and the number and power of the explosives planted will definitely be doubled. Under such a large explosion range, if there are any warriors from the Yanlong tribe nearby, they will definitely be destroyed. Affected, because if they want to ensure the sniper accuracy of the manual rifle, they cannot be too far away. If they cannot kill with one hit, it will only expose their position, so that they will fall into passive. But if the witches don't use manual rifles or recurve bows to harvest, I'm afraid they won't be able to cause much damage to them. After all, they are all warriors, and they will definitely reorganize their teams in the shortest possible time to fight back. Yan Jiao didn't understand it at all, and continued in this way, we may fall into passivity, and it will become like a head-on confrontation. Although the medicine pack is very powerful, but the opponent has more people and more powerful warriors. If there is really no way to cause heavy losses to the opponent, then this ambush halfway is really unnecessary. The chief forgot a very important thing. Our tribe has an air force. Why don't we bomb from the air? Subai said with a slight smile. The Yanlong tribe does not have modern combat aircraft, but there are many obedient flying ferocious beasts. Moreover, the detonation time of the explosive pack is not very short. There is enough time to ignite it in the air and then throw it away. Go down. Is Wu planning to use ferocious beasts to harvest in the end? Yan Jiao instantly felt his scalp numb. He had never thought about this before, but after thinking about it just now, he really felt that this method was perfect. Please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 1212. This is the safest method, and it is also a method that will prevent them from easily escaping. Subai nodded slightly and continued, this is the implementation of our original idea, which is to minimize casualties as much as possible. He feels that the tribe has tamed so many flying ferocious beasts, which can be put to good use. This is a method that other tribes do not have, and it is not something that anyone can easily replicate. Although many tribes have the means to tame ferocious beasts ability, but almost none of the tamed ferocious beasts have much combat power. And let alone the flying ferocious beasts, they have no access to them at all. If they want, they can only rely on those winged orcs. But one thing is very cruel. Those with the ability to domesticate are often only witches, and none of the witches are from a race other than humans. Of course, witches can teach other people the skill of domestication, but they must also, it depends on talent and practice. This is why the Yanlong tribe is so confident now, because everything they have cannot be replicated by other tribes. I also agree with this approach. Our tribe has explosive packs that other tribes do not have. They would never have imagined that we would have such a battle plan. Yan Jiao said excitedly. Wu, then we don't need explosive packs. Can we just bomb from the air? Kang Shi asked. He felt that dropping explosive packets from the air was also very lethal, and then burying them on the ground would be a bit wasteful. This makes it easy for the opponent to escape, and there are many blind spots in the forest when looking from the air. Once they react in time and hide, it will be difficult for us to pursue them. Subai shook his head and continued to explain, if the first wave of bombings does not kill too many people, then we will be passive, so it is important to bury explosives on the ground in advance to make them confused first. Only after finishing the attack can you catch them all in one go. The original forest is like this. The trees are very tall and lush, and it is easy to find a place to hide. A huge tree cannot be easily destroyed by explosives. Even those people who don't understand the power of explosives also know that it's time to find some reliable place to hide. Sorry Wu, I didn't think it through clearly. The step of planting the explosive package is very important. Kang Shi immediately bowed his head and apologized. He originally thought there was no need to do anything more, but now after hearing this, he felt that missing one of the two steps would not be enough. It's okay, you have never been exposed to such a combat plan, and it is very normal to not think it through. Subai raised his hand and pressed it. This is a very modern combat plan, and the people of the primitive tribe naturally don't understand it. If it weren't for his arrival, the people of the primitive tribe would still be in the Stone Age, let alone the age of thermal weapons. We haven't even entered the cold weapon age yet. Ever since the explosive pack appeared, the Yanlong tribe has established their position on this continent. Wu, I will lead people to plant explosives on their only path starting tomorrow. Yan Jiao said immediately. Although there is still more than half a month, the chief also feels that it is better to prepare in advance. There is no need to rush for the time being. Let them travel for a while first to ensure that there are no mistakes in the route of action. Subai shook his head and continued. Burying the explosive package too early may cause the explosive package to lose its power due to the moisture of the land. In this case, our combat plan will still fail. The land in the virgin forest is very humid, because the largest trees block the sky and the sun makes it difficult for the land underneath to dry. There is definitely no problem if you bury it for a day or two, but it can easily go wrong after half a month. Yes, which Yan Jiao had to sigh once again that Wu's thoughts can consider many aspects very clearly. If it were them, they would definitely not be able to do anything, and the things they can consider are very one-sided. From today on, I will tell you that the war is about to start, and let all warriors and soldiers be prepared to deal with it, especially the manual rifle squad and the Air Force. These two departments are the main force in this war. Subai tapped his index finger on the table and continued. The remaining reserve warriors and soldiers are guarding the tribe. No one knows whether they will have other plans, so our tribe cannot live without people. Got it, do we tell the rest of the tribe? Yan Jiao asked. There is no need to tell them, just say that we have a mission to go out on, and there is no need to panic them too much about this little thing. Just wait until the results come out and bring back good news, Subai said with a smile. He felt that the life of the Yanlong tribe was difficult enough before, because the Dark Scorpion tribe had completely messed up their previous lives. Now that they are told that they are going to war with the Dark Scorpion tribe, the people of the tribe will inevitably feeling scared and flustered. Subai wanted to tell the results directly, so that the people in the tribe could celebrate without worrying. Wu was very considerate, and I also felt that there was no need to tell the people in the tribe. Yan Jiao nodded repeatedly. Now everyone's life is very regular. If they learn this news, it will inevitably be a bit chaotic. Because many people in the tribe are ordinary people, they don't know the specific strength of the Yanlong tribe now. So they will definitely feel scared when they hear that the previous culprit has come out again. In more than half a month, are you able to get people from other tribes to come to our tribe? Subai asked. Does Wu have any plan? Or do you want other tribes to help us in this war? But with our strength, we don't need to cooperate with other tribes. Yan Jiao said doubtfully. We don't want them to cooperate with us, but we want them to witness this historic moment. The corner of Subai's mouth rose slightly. He would not let this battle go easily. This war is undoubtedly the best opportunity to completely make the Yanlong tribe's reputation. The reason why he wants people from other tribes to come the Yanlong tribe is just to let them see how powerful they are. It is equivalent to declaring sovereignty and paving the way for building a kingdom in the future. In this way, some tribes who are just behind the scenes will be more peaceful, and Subai does not have to start. I'm just worried about what other tribes have other ideas. I understand, Our war this time is killing two birds with one stone. According to Wu's words, Yan Jiao also started laughing. This is left to you. As for using any activities or new products in the big market, you must accumulate enough people at the beginning of the war, Sudbai ordered. Yes, Yan Jiao responded. Please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 1213. Do you think there is any reason for me to accept you? Sudbai sat in the main seat and looked at everyone. His expression was very calm, and at the same time there was a serious look in his eyes, which made people dare not look down upon him. This is the second time he has met with people from other tribes. They didn't even get to talk together once. Mainly because those people were too complacent, and Sudbai didn't even need to consider the conditions they proposed. He only met with those tribes for only 10 minutes, and he hurriedly let them go. They retreated. Wu, the people in our tribe are very diligent and honest, and they work very seriously and hard. As long as you can join the Yanlong tribe, you will definitely not be disappointed, a chief said seriously. This time they really have to join the Yanlong tribe. Otherwise, it would be impossible for a chief of the tribe to come here in person. There is plenty of food around our tribe. If we join the Yanlong tribe and we can continue to provide food to the witches, our tribe will definitely not have a food crisis, another chief said quickly. They are now competing with each other, vying to tell the advantages of their own tribe first, so as to get the opportunity to join the Yanlong tribe. In the past, they did not know which Yanlong tribe was. But now the name of this tribe is very loud, and it is already famous enough that they all want to join. Especially the food, buildings, management methods, etc., are all very much desired by other tribes. If we can join the Flame Dragon tribe, we will have absolutely no complaints no matter what Wu orders our tribe to do, a female chief said quickly. There is nothing special about their tribe, so they can only rely on this method to attract attention. Do you think these can impress me? Do you think these are really important to me? Sudbai asked again and looked at everyone. The main reason is that these things are really too common. The Yanlong tribe has enough food and the ability to produce food on its own, so there is no need for tribute from other tribes. Moreover, the Yanlong tribe also has a very mature management system, that is, if you have a job, you have food and a place to live, and there is no need for other tribes to be obedient, sensible, and capable. Didn't Wu want to establish a city? I think having more people is a very good thing, which is why I can think of accepting our tribe, one chief said very seriously. He was relatively well informed. He knew that the Yanlong tribe was going to create a city, and he also knew the specific significance of the city. As a single city, the current scale of our Yanlong tribe is enough, and there is no need for more people to join, Sudbai said with his legs crossed. He knew that everyone would definitely know the news, so he had temporarily changed his new strategy. The idea of establishing a city must still be there, but it no longer relies on the participation of other people. Wu, we heard that you are about to go to war with the Dark Scorpion tribe, and our tribe can definitely provide help, a chief of a large tribe said quickly. He doesn't know what to do now. All he can do is help in the war. After all, their tribe has a lot of totem warriors. If the Dark Scorpion tribe wins by quantity, definitely no advantage. Our tribe is fully capable of winning, and you don't have to worry about our weapons and combat power, so this doesn't impress me at all, Sudbai continued to shake his head. He had already calculated that the other party would make such a request, but unfortunately the Yanlong tribe really didn't need their help in this regard. In fact, he had already planned what to say later, and also said to them, those who don't care at all, just want to make the people of those tribes feel more desperate. That is to say, when they have no capital to use, Sudbai will make his request, and the other party will definitely agree. Several chiefs were immediately entangled, and they were really helpless. They were originally excited to join the Yanlong tribe, but now that they were poured cold water on them one after another, they were completely disappointed. After listening to Sudbai's words, they knew that their tribe had no advantage. In terms of food, the Yanlong tribe has its own farmland and raises its own animals, so there is no need to worry about food. In terms of personnel, everyone in the tribe also works very diligently and has almost no complaints about the work, so their plan to provide labor will not work. In terms of weapons, the weapons of their tribes are not as good as those of the Yanlong tribe, and their combat power is even more incomparable. These tribes have said everything they can say, and there is only so much they can offer. After listening, they also know that they really have no advantage. This is why they are so depressed now. But I can take a step back. You don't need to join the Yanlong tribe. You still belong to your own group, but in the end you still have to obey my arrangements. Do you think this kind of concession is okay? Sudbai asked with his hands on his knees. He felt it was time to start telling everyone about this matter, that is, the establishment of a kingdom. To establish a kingdom, they all need to join the Yanlong tribe, and they can directly transfer there the tribe turned into a city. But in the end, you still have to listen to the Yanlong tribe. It is not much different from their initial appeal. The reason why Sudbai wants to deny everything they have and then raise this question is because he wants them to know I have made concessions so that they can be willing to listen to me. Really? But our tribe has no ability to develop as well as the Yanlong tribe. Even if we listen to the witch, what will happen? A chief raised a question. They want to join the Yanlong tribe just because they want Subala to pull their tribe over. That is to say, their tribe also wants to develop like the Yanlong tribe, with stone houses, stone avenues, and various fresh goods. This is a good question. Although you are not from the Yanlong tribe, you can develop like the Yanlong tribe, and at the same time you can become a city on your own, Sudbai explained. If you want to establish a kingdom, you must have many cities combined. Sudbai's first thought was to let them all join the Yanlong tribe to become a city, but after thinking about it, it would be better they wanted to form a kingdom. So they rejected their request to join and let them become a city on their own. Please support and customize. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 1214. The chiefs of those tribes were all stunned when they heard this, and everyone looked at each other in shock. They couldn't believe what they just heard was true, and they didn't react for a while. Can our tribe really become a city? But the size of our tribe is only half that of the Yanlong tribe. The chief of a small tribe was surprised. Most of the chiefs who came to the Yanlong tribe this time were from small tribes, or mostly from medium-sized tribes. There were only 2 or 3 chiefs of the large tribes, and they are still a bit arrogant. They all think that their own tribe is relatively big, and then they think that joining the Yanlong tribe will also give them face. Woo, if we don't need anything from our tribe, wouldn't the Yanlong tribe suffer a great loss? We haven't got anything yet and we have to help us develop, another chief wondered. His tribe really has nothing, and lives diligently every day. The tribe's food is all sourced from totem warriors going to hunting grounds to hunt, and then using some rare food and animal skins are exchanged for some daily necessities. This kind of tribe will be more worried, because they have no advantage over other tribes and can't offer anything that can make the Yanlong tribe excited. The chiefs of other tribes also started chattering. The scene at this moment was like a general meeting. Everyone had their own ideas. You were talking and I was talking. You heard it right, each tribe can be established as a city, but your power is not that great. Everything you do must obey me, Sudbai continued. He will not disperse all the power, otherwise it will be very difficult to manage. Even if these tribes join the Yanlong tribe in the future, many things will still happen. But now this is very safe and allows their tribes to develop better, but at the same time they do not have such high power, that is, everything has to be controlled by others. If they had discussed this with the chiefs of these tribes at the beginning, then they would definitely I won't agree, but after Subai has laid the groundwork for so long, it's time to close the net. Witchcraft, for example, what aspect? A chief asked curiously. He wanted to know to what extent he had to be obedient. If it was not too much, it would be acceptable. It should be said that even if it was too much, it would be acceptable. After all, this was a good thing for them. In addition to his own, the tribes can all develop better. The chiefs of each tribe definitely hope that their tribes will get better and better. Of course, there are also those who are more ambitious. As long as you join our kingdom and become part of the city, your chiefs will become ministers in the future, and then you will have to develop the city according to the guidelines I gave you. The rest is nothing too much, Subai said seriously. He himself definitely does not have the ability to manage all the cities. At this time, it is appropriate to give some power to others. What's more, the chiefs are already sitting in very high positions. If after establishing a kingdom, if the power of these chiefs disappears, trouble will inevitably occur over time. Chief? This title still sounds pretty good, and if that's all it is, we can definitely agree, another chief said quickly. He originally thought there would be some particularly excessive request, but this request is still very humane. We are willing to join the Yanlong tribe and become the city of the Yanlong tribe, another chief said immediately. He felt that it was right to echo him at this time, otherwise it would be easy to be ignored based on the appearance of his small tribe. Wu, I have a question. I wonder if I can ask it, another chief asked, raising his hands. They were asked to raise their hands to ask questions before they started, otherwise the scene would be noisy with just one sentence. Ask. Subai waved with one hand. If our tribe becomes a city, then the Yanlong tribe will also become a city in the future. But Wu asked us to join the tribe. Wouldn't this be a city within a city? The chief asked particularly puzzledly. This is not how it is calculated. When you join us, you are equivalent to joining a kingdom. The kingdom is bigger than the city, and the city is bigger than the tribe. Do you understand this? Subai explained simply. He wanted to make it clear to them that when they became a city, they were part of the kingdom and no longer part of a tribe. There is still a big difference between being part of a tribe and being part of a kingdom, at least in this way. If so, they would be freer. I understand, but how does the kingdom distinguish which city is the largest? Or should we calculate it according to the size of the previous tribe? The chief once again wondered. From now on, the Yanlong tribe will be the capital and central city of this kingdom. From now on, the Yanlong tribe will be larger than all your cities. Subai sat up straight and continued very seriously. Then the size of the city is not calculated according to the size of the tribe, but according to the contribution of the tribe. If the size of the existing city is calculated based on the size of the original tribe, then it is actually unfair to some capable tribes. What Subai thinks is that the capable tribes will definitely be the ones that receive more attention. That is to say, it can become the main city. In layman's terms, it is a big city. All good things in the future will be developed in this city first. And some large tribes just have an advantage in numbers. In fact, their tribes are not powerful, so it is impossible. Let them take advantage of their numbers and take advantage of them. We get it, and if that's the case, we don't have any problems. A chief looked at the other chiefs and said. He felt that as long as he could join the Yanlong tribe, it would be a good thing to be protected and developed together by this tribe. As for whether he was being managed or not, it didn't matter at all. The Yanlong tribe has such good goods and there is no need to worry about food, clothing, etc. These advantages are enough to attract other tribes. However, it is not that they change their mentality all of a sudden, but Subai has been laying the groundwork for a long time, that is, the Yanlong tribe at the beginning of the big market. All those tribes who have been to their tribe can hear all the things about the Yanlong tribe. Please let these people bring these things back to their respective tribes, and slowly everyone will be brainwashed. Okay, you go back first, and we'll hear from our tribe about how it will develop in the future. Subai waved his hand. He was completely relieved now. He didn't expect that things would go so smoothly. Sure enough, he still had to slowly lay the groundwork. I wish you all a happy new year. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 1215. Woo, all the explosive packs have been planted, and the Air Force is also ready. Shailen's hair is all tied up today. She looks very intellectual like this, and she looks very girly when her hair is scattered. The current cat-eared girl looks a little mature, probably because of these two. It may be caused by years of experience. It may also be due to the approaching war, which makes Shailen look particularly mature. Where are the people from the Dark Scorpion tribe? Subai nodded. To be honest, he was looking forward to the beginning of this war. As long as this war comes to an end, the Yanlong tribe will begin to enter a new chapter. There are still 5 days to go before our tribe, but only 2 days to where we will plant the explosive packs. Shailen continued to report. The cat-eared girl has now completely separated from the totem warriors and has completely become Subai's personal secretary. Because with the development of the Yanlong tribe, there are many things that Shailen needs to do and follow. Come in. If you continue to run back and forth with 2 identities, it will definitely be very tiring, and many things will not be followed up properly, so the cat-eared girl directly became a full-time personal secretary. Let the chiefs and the others start preparing. They can start preparing when they are still half a day away from the goal. This time they can only succeed and not fail, Subai said very seriously. Although he had another plan, he didn't want to start that plan. Because if the aerial bombing failed, the tribe's warriors would need to charge into the battle. In this way, it would be the same as what he originally thought. It went against the plan of 0 casualties. Subai definitely didn't want this. After all, he had already promised the tribe. Otherwise, it would not have been possible to launch the aerial bombing plan this time. The amount of explosives that needed to be consumed this time was very huge. If it hadn't been for last year's attack after hoarding a lot of explosives throughout the year, this plan is absolutely impossible to implement, and this aerial bombing plan has also used up the entire tribe's explosives. Therefore, if it fails, the soldiers must charge into battle, although the odds of winning are some, but it doesn't mean that recurve bows and long swords are invincible. The enemy is also a totem warrior after all, and he must have some strength. This time, after all, the entire tribe's explosive reserves were at stake. The extent of the explosion must have been very widespread. Unless they could escape, they would not fail. Shailen fiddled with her scattered hair. She knew that the tribe was taking a gamble this time, because all the explosives were used in the sneak attack. Of course, the cat-eared girl didn't want to see the tribe's warriors die, because now they all swore that they could achieve 0 casualties. This is why this plan must not fail. Once it fails, everyone's morale will definitely be affected. It's always a good idea to err on the side of caution. How many of our tribes are there these days? Subai continued to ask. After all, this time he was declaring sovereignty and telling other tribes how powerful the Yanlong tribe was. That's why many people from other tribes need to come to them in order to establish the position of the king's capital in the future. If those people are not allowed to see how powerful the Yanlong tribe is, they will always have other ideas. A total of about 20 tribes, large and small, came. Fortunately, many restaurants in our tribe have opened, otherwise they wouldn't be able to stay here, Shailen said immediately. Originally, the Yanlong tribe's restaurant was Enyi Tower, and it was relatively close to Yong'an Tower. Subai thought that as the Yanlong tribe grew bigger in the future, the demand for restaurants would definitely increase. So last year, Many cement houses were expanded to the wooden houses outside the tribe, and they were not just 2-story buildings, but 5-story buildings. Moreover, these restaurants are all in a row, so that it is convenient. People from other tribes were gathered together for management. Then the previous Enyi Tower was directly abandoned. Restaurants were not allowed in the center of the tribe. Previously, because there was no way, the tribe had only those cement houses. In order to let the people of the tribe lamented the power of the Yanlong tribe, so they built an extra cement house to use as a restaurant. Now that more and more cement houses have been built, the location of the restaurant must be changed to a place farther away from Yong'an building. Do they know that there is going to be a war in our tribe? Subai asked. He wanted to see if they knew. If they knew there was a war and came here specially, then he would have to admire them. After all, no tribe wants to be involved in a war, and the Dark Scorpion tribe, it's not like everyone doesn't know about their reputation. Even though they knew that there was going to be a war between the Yanlong tribe and the Dark Scorpion tribe, why would they still come to the Yanlong tribe? Can't you praise them for their courage? Most people know about it, but they think it won't affect them. Anyway, they just come here to buy something, so it doesn't have much impact. Shalan also felt very strange. Those people seemed to know that the Yanlong tribe would definitely win, and everyone looked scared. It will become a part of our kingdom in the future, so it is good to have the courage, but if there is no big discount this time, I am afraid those people will not come. Subai was a little bit dumbfounded. Because this time it was Yan Jiao who said there was a big discount, that is, all the goods of the Yanlong tribe were half cheaper than before. When those tribes heard about such a good discount, they thought of the Yanlong tribes. They are very powerful, so they all come here to take risks. However, I also have an idea of watching the excitement in my heart, that is, I want to see which of these two very strong tribes can win. They just come to watch the fun. If we win, they won't suffer anything. If we lose, they can obey the Dark Scorpion tribe as the wind dictates. Shalan spread her hands. The cat-eared girl is smart after all. She can see the form of many things clearly at a glance. You are worthy of being my personal secretary. Without this awareness, there is no way I would be able to be one. Subai smiled heartily. Yuying is now fully responsible for her own diet and daily life, while Moerniang is responsible for all work. Yanhua is responsible for the soldiers and training soldiers. The three of them have their own roles. Areas to take responsibility for. I'm afraid I'll still be busy after defeating the Dark Scorpion tribe. Shalan can predict how busy he will be in the future. Don't worry, we will recruit more people to help you share the work in the future. Why are we willing to make you work so hard? Subai pinched the other person's cheek. When he really establishes a kingdom, he will need more talents. Yes, Shalan smiled very happily. On the third day of the Lunar New Year, I wish you all a prosperous year.